Well, Shrine Southern Provincial Councillor Maitri Gunaratna took his seat as an independent councillor in the council today, subsequent to making a special statement. Let's take a look.
In 2009, I realized that it would be difficult to continue this way. Honourable Chairman, on the 23rd of February 2009, I addressed a letter to Party Leader Ranil Wickremesinghe. It was a 4-page letter, Honourable Chairman, and I will not read out all 4 pages now. I will table this letter. Honourable Chairman, I begged our Party Leader not to belittle the war and to pledge support to the government in this war. He did not take any note of my request. In 2010, the presidential elections came around. When the ballot boxes were opened, I realized that we had lost. I met with the party leader and requested that he not say things like this. I told him, "Sir, we cannot say stories like this and then go before the party supporters when the parliamentary elections come and ask them to vote." Honourable Chairman, we saw with our own eyes that there was no way the ballot boxes could have been changed. In 2010, we contested the parliamentary elections. We suffered an immense defeat at the parliamentary elections. The common complaint was against the qualities of the party leader. The opposition leader is not here. Please give us an opportunity after this statement. We must have an opportunity to say a few words on behalf of our leader.
පසුපෙළ මන්ත්‍රීවරු මේ සභාව මේවන්න හදනවා. විජේනායක මන්ත්‍රීතුමාට මොකද තියෙන අයිතිය මේවට කතා කරන්න. ගරු අශෝක ධනවංශ සිල්වා මන්ත්‍රීතුමා කියුවාගේ යම් යම් ප්‍රකාශ පිළිබඳව අපිට කතා කරන්න තියෙනවා. ඒ සභාවට අපට අවස්ථාව දෙන්න වෙලාව ගත්තට කමන්නේ. මේක එතුමාගේ කතාව. නෑ මේක විවාදයක් නෙවෙයි. විවාදයක් නෙවෙයි. ඔබතුමා දැනගන්න ඕන සභාව මේවන්න. මම මේ ඔබතුමා මේකට වාඩිනේ. කරුණාකරලා ඔබතුමා දැනගන්න ඕනේ.
Today, it is not I that have been chased away from the party. Honourable Chairman, the party leader and working committee have not expelled me from the party. They have expelled the views of the party supporters that I represent.
In 1977, the then leader of the United National Party, J.R. Jayawardena, paved the way for senior UNP activists to appoint a strong steering committee ahead of elections for the parliamentary elections.
The former General Secretary of the UNP, Daham Vimalasena, reminisces that at no instance did the party leader J.R. Jayawardena interfere in the process of appointing the members of the campaign steering committee.
The Campaign Steering Committee of the United National Party, which secured a historic election victory in 1977, was elected by the votes of UNP parliamentarians and electorate organizers. The former General Secretary of the party notes that at the time no one was aware prior to the incident that a vote was to be held to select the 10-member steering committee, adding that the party leader paved the way for a democratic vote. The vote was called for and no one was aware that a vote was to be held. Some people even levelled accusations at me asking why I had not informed them. But even I did not know that there was to be a vote. Before the voting began, an individual asked me for 3 more days. The leader immediately said that he would not give 3 minutes, let alone 3 days. He said the vote must be held immediately. He wanted to hold the vote immediately in order to prevent conflict. In the end, when the results of the vote were announced, it was a committee that comprised of talented politicians who had the voice of the youth and represented all sections of society that was appointed. The individual with the highest number of votes was R. Premadasa. We always knew that he would come first. He came first with 118 votes. After him there was Gamina Dissanayaka. Then there was AIS Hamid. The leader instructed us to elect a committee that represented all sections of society, and so Hamid and Devanayagam were elected. Then there was Gamini Jayasuriya. Everyone that was elected was qualified and there was no conflict whatsoever. They had clean records. They were popular people. It was great people like that who were elected to this committee. I wish to note that the party leader did not appoint his friends to this committee. R. Premadasa's instructions were received by the party and party leader J.R. Jayawardena. We acted in keeping with those instructions for the election campaign.
The Public Health Inspectors Association states that an independent investigation has confirmed that imported milk powder does not contain dicyandiamide or DCD. Now, Chairman of the Public Health Inspectors Association elaborated further.
There are 2 main accepted laboratories in the world.
ITI and SGS. ITI in April 2013 said it cannot carry out the DCD test on the milk powder samples that were sent by the Food Control Unit as they did not have the necessary facilities to conduct such tests. Thereafter, we inquired from the second laboratory, SGS, which refused to conduct tests in Sri Lanka, but agreed to conduct tests outside the country as a third party. The Food Control Unit sent the milk powder samples to another country through SGS, which conducted the test and submitted nearly 200 reports stating that the milk powder stock is clear of DCD, and thereby granting approval for the milk powder to be brought into Sri Lanka. However, ITI, who initially declined to carry out the test, citing the lack of facilities, managed to obtain milk powder samples through officials from the Science and Technology Ministry, and later issued a special statement stating that the samples contained DCD. 4 batches of 4 varieties of milk powder that ITI tested positive were banned from being sold within Sri Lanka. We're watching news at 9 live on MTV Sports and Shakti TV.
It's time now for Action TV.
The Minister of Agriculture revealed before farmers yesterday that the loss of about 100 million rupees that was incurred by soybean farmers in the Hudlu-Weber agrarian settlement scheme in the Yalla harvest season was caused by an imported stock of soybean seeds. The minister made this revelation at a meeting held at the Gulin Bindunu-Weber Divisional Secretariat after he had visited soybean cultivations in Hudlu-Weber and inspected the current status. The farmers of Hudlu-Weber, who have cultivated soybeans for 27 years continuously, have been sowing locally sourced soybean seeds over the past 15 years. At a meeting of the District Agricultural Committee held on the 19th of March, the Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture agreed to purchase 89,000 kilograms of surplus soybean seeds that were in the possession of the farmers of Hudlu-Weber and provide them with free seeds to cultivate 5,400 acres of farmland in Hudlu-Weber under a government campaign to increase soybean production. However, according to notice issued to the Anuradhapura District Secretary by the Agriculture Secretary, following the purchase of soybean seeds from the farmers of Hudlu-Weber, not only would a sum of 9 million rupees be lost, but seeds would have to be purchased from a private company at a cost of 25 rupees per kilogram. The president of the Hudlu-Weber Joint Farmers Organization revealed before the Minister of Agriculture yesterday the enthusiasm that was shown by the Department of Agriculture to distribute the foreign seeds among the farmers of Hudlu-Weber, the same seeds that led to the farmers losing half their usual crop. It was a lorry from the Department of Agriculture that brought these soybean seeds here. The Department of Agriculture commands a position of respect in the country. Honourable Minister, this is a serious problem. The lorry from the Department of Agriculture brought the imported soybean seeds here, and your name was also dragged into the affair. Everyone has affirmed this, you have affirmed this, and the officials have also affirmed it. Soybeans are produced here primarily for use in the production of cooking oil. The supplier who produced the substandard seeds is the only one who produces soya oil in the country, and although he supplied the substandard seeds, we need to protect him because he is the only producer of soya oil, and soybean production is dependent on the soya oil industry. In spite of the minister's statement, there is considerable demand for soybean seeds in this country to be used in the production of animal feed. In fact, soybean seeds have only been imported to the country prior to this for use in the production of animal feed. As such, whether the questionable stock of soybean seeds provided to these farmers were meant for the production of animal feed and not for cultivation is a question that cannot be evaded. As a government, we will provide you with all the seeds free of charge for the next season. It will be 100% free, and when you harvest your crop, you can give it to us and we will purchase it at a competitive price. However, the agreement reached after concerns and demands were raised by the farmers was not to cover the losses of the farmers from this Yalla harvest season at the next Yalla harvest season. Action TV will have more details tomorrow.
Meanwhile, a meeting of the Kotmale Electorate Task Force of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party was held at the Pudulu Town Hall yesterday.
Let's take a look at the views expressed at this meeting.
දැන් තමුන්වහන්සේලාට වෙලා තියෙන්නේ බල්ලා ඉන්නකොට පොල්ල නැහැ, පොල්ල තියෙනකොට බල්ලා නැහැ වගේ.
We must get rid of this system. It is very difficult to correct this system within the preferential voting system. We have work to do this in the local government system. Now the Pradesh Sabha chairman need not run around the entire area under the purview of the Pradesh Sabha. He has a specific electorate. The other members have their respective electorates. So now they can go for the funerals, weddings and all other events in their respective electorates, build the roads, maintain cordial relations with the people, and they need not spend hundreds of thousands anymore.
එතුමාට නිශ්චිත ආසනයක් තියෙනවා. අනික් മന്ത്രിවරුන්ට නිශ්චිත ආසන තියෙනවා. ඒ ආසන වල මරණ ගෙවල් මල ගෙවල් මේවා ඔක්කොටම ගිහිල්ලා මගුල් ගාවල් වලට ගිහිල්ලා ඒ ආසනේ ජනතාව එක්ක සුවදව ඉඳලා ඒ ආසන කොටසේ පාරවල් ටික හදා දුන්නම අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම ලක්ෂ ගාණක් වියදම් කරන අතර රුපියල් 50000කින් 60න් වැඩේ ෂේප් කරගන්න පුළුවන්. සමුනාස්ලා බයින්න එපා මොකද දැන් මට කියන්න බැරි දේවල් මේකේ තියෙනවා.
You need not be afraid. There are some things that I cannot say here. Everyone here are our people, but there are things we cannot say. We go for the branch committee meetings. I will say these things when we go to the villages. I think even now I have provided numerous jobs. You need not be afraid. Even though I will not say the forbidden word, I will protect you. That is all I have to say. As the leader of this district, I will look after it. Those of you in the steering committee need not have any fear.
මම මේක දිස්ත්‍රික්කේ නායකයා හැටියට මම මේක බලා ගන්නම් මෙහෙුම් කමිටියේ තමුන්නාස්ලා බය නැතුව එන්න.
Hello, welcome back to the news. Archaeological artifacts serve as a reminder of the proud history of our nation. However, this report filed by our provincial correspondent in Tanamalvila, USA, Bandara, shows a very different reality.
The Hambegamo Rajamaha Vihara, which is located within the jurisdiction of the Tanamalvila Divisional Secretariat, is of great value to our country. This vihara, which is said to have been constructed during the reign of King Dapulla II, has been raided by treasure thieves on numerous occasions. As a result of thievery that has been taking place over many years, today most of the ancient artifacts have been destroyed. There are a number of shrines and temples around the Hambegamo Rajamaha Vihara. There is the Nikavahara, the Hatharayala temple, Arambegala and others. We consider all of these to have archaeological importance. The Kottaviharagala area, which has been named an archaeological site, has also been targeted by treasure thieves on many occasions. Since we were small, stone pillars and other ruins have been gradually destroyed, and we fear that the next generation will have nothing left. The Nikavahara area, which is also home to several ancient ruins, has not escaped the attention of treasure thieves. We cannot understand what is happening here. Even though the police are there, not a single treasure thief has been caught. This footage is not an excavation undertaken for development work. This is the work of treasure thieves in Nikavahara. This destruction will be a major problem for the next generation. When the historic sites here are being destroyed, the authorities need to show more consideration. Protecting our ancient heritage is our responsibility.
USA Bandara, Hambegamo Rajamaha Viharasthane සිට.
In related news, 2 persons have been arrested in Polonnaruwa and Pothuwil on suspicion of excavating for treasure.
The police commenced the search operation yesterday after the Sengamo army camp received information that the group was excavating for treasure within the Alamkulam State Forest Reserve in the Komari area in Pothuwil. The police say that 1 person was arrested during the operation, but 2 others had managed to flee. The police have seized a state-of-the-art ground scanner and other equipment used for the excavation of treasure. The police say that the suspect was produced before the Pothuwil Magistrates Court. Meanwhile, a person from the Bandiwaba area in Polonnaruwa was arrested by the police when he was excavating for treasure in his garden. The suspect had revealed to the police that he started excavating for treasure after he had dreamt about the treasure. The suspect is to be produced before the Polonnaruwa magistrate tomorrow.
Well, if you just joined us, here's a look at the stories that we have been following on News First tonight. Minister of Water Supply and Drainage says that pipe water will be provided to Rathpaswala and surrounding villages within the next few weeks.
The Election Secretariat says that it has received a total of 87 complaints regarding the upcoming provincial council polls.